Welcome back to the channel. And yes, we are in the garage again. I do apologize. Unfortunately, the last 2 weeks we've gotten a lot of rain and all the rivers and creeks are a muddy mess right now, and they're pretty high and moving fast. So it's not ideal when you're working a TRD on the bottom of the creek, because that's all the fish are hitting on right now. We're in the garage, but it's okay. During these bad weather days, it's a good time to really tinker with your boat. So that's exactly what we did. I attached 2 new attachments that I did not previously own to this Crescent Lite tackle. So I am super excited about them. They're going to make me more comfortable in the water, but also more efficient in the water. So at the beginning of this video, I'm going to show you how I attach these 2 new attachments. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I have installed on my Crescent Lite tackle. Hopefully you'll get some ideas for your personal light tackle if you have one. If not, maybe you have a boat with similar gear tracks and accessories, and you can use some of these thoughts and ideas to soup out your own kayak. So, enough talking, let's get to work. Okay, I need to go ahead and clean and prep where I'm going to put that deck padding down. So I'm going to use some Windex. I'm going to just give it a light spraying just to get some of these little dirty spots off. That way that 3M tape will stick really, really well. I should have did this before I took it out in the water one time, but I was so anxious I had to get it out. Now, before you get all crazy and start peeling and sticking, you want to go ahead and lay it out first. Make sure you have them in the right positions, and then just one by one slowly peel and stick them. Oh, just got a staple in my finger. Golly. Dude went in there. Some industrial strength staples. Alright, so we got them laid out. And yeah, some of them are kind of crossed up a little bit in the package. And if I would have just peeled and stick as I went, I'd already messed up really, really bad. Another little tip right here. It's kind of like stair steps. So if you ever get confused, just put them side by side and just go along the stairs and see which one are smaller, which one are larger. So the larger ones will go towards more of the back of the boat. Smaller ones, of course, as the boat gets narrow to the front, they're going to go in the front of the boat. I'm going to start pressing down in the middle and kind of push my way to the outside. I'm going to press down just a few seconds on this one. Make sure there's no air pockets. Then move to the next one. First side is done. So if you purchase this same kayak or the ultralight tackle, go online first before you start peeling and sticking and find a picture from the factory or Crescent themselves with the deck padding installed and how it's supposed to look like. Because it's very hard to tell. There's only small subtleties in these cuts, except for this one up here, that if you don't get it lined up and on the right scrubber hole plug, then you're in a world of trouble. So that's why you always want to lay it out first before you take off the backing. Now just another little point, after you get these curved pieces set right here, kind of match the opposite side, and luckily there's lines right here you can use as a guide and just have so much on each side, you know, just eyeball test. But after you get these set, use this little point right here going towards the nose of the boat and use that for a line to line up each of the next few pieces until you get to this wacky one right here. So there's a couple pointers for you if you bought this deck padding for this boat specifically. We're going to mount this Mighty Mount switch right here in the center for my fish finder, or possibly for a rod holder for when I go crappie fishing. I can spider rig off my nose and then off to the sides with 2 additional rod holders. So it's a multi-purpose. Mainly I'm going to use it for my fish finder right there dead center off my seat. But I also can install a rod holder there in the future, especially if I'm spider rigging for crappie. So we're going to install that dude right there. So I decided to go sideways with the Mighty Mount switch because I was really getting thin on space up here with it going up and down versus this direction. So that's why I switched it to horizontal versus vertical. So now I got plenty of space to mount this flat with a little bit of extra space on the top and below it. That way it gives those wires a little bit extra space to curl back and plug into your fish finder. So there we go, we're gonna go dead center right there. And this is the scary part because you gotta drill a huge hole to your kayak. Your new one. As you noticed, I got a little helper with me now. Anyways, he's in charge of the socket wrench. I'm in charge of the drill. So right now I am going to line up where this through hole kit is gonna be. And I'm gonna take a permanent marker. Orange is the only color I could find. I'm gonna put a dot right there in the middle. Then I'm gonna use a 1-inch hole saw drill bit and pop my hole in. For the next gadget on this new kayak, we're going to go with the Anchor Wizard Low Profile Edition. For about 30 minutes I played with this Yak Attack gear track and just see if I could place it somewhere up here where it'd work out, where this Anchor Wizard chute would work efficiently, but it's not going to work out unfortunately. So, I'm not going to be able to use this like my original idea. So what I thought about doing was, this handle right here removes, and the two bolt inserts that Crescent installed for us here match up perfectly with this chute. So I was wanting off the front of my nose of my boat, and that's going to give me this option. Now here's the negative. There is a gap between the frame of this and these inserts, so you're going to have to use a longer bolt than the ones that the handle came with originally. You're also going to have to use some type of spacer. Now the local hardware shop that I went to, they didn't have no spacers unfortunately, but they did have some rubber washers. So I got about 20 of those, just kind of play around with it for a few moments and see what the gapping would be and how it's going to look and how secure it's going to be. So we're going to play along with that. So that's what I did there. My bolts are not going to fall out, and all I have to do is line them up and screw them in to these inserts right here. Beautiful. And what's great about this, it's not very comfortable by all means, but you can still use it as a handle. You just move this out of the way and make sure your anchor's not clipped to it. So what I could end up doing is getting a little, just a little rope handle and tie off to that, and boom. That is going to be awesome. I was scanning through YouTube a little bit trying to get some ideas on a Crescent Lite tackle, and I couldn't find anything on there. There's like reviews on there, there's walkthroughs of the stock boat itself, but no one's posted a video of actual attachments and accessories they put on the Crescent Lite tackle. So, if you're here for that and try to get some fresh ideas for your boat, then you came to the right place. I'm going to just walk you through what I personally did to my boat, starting from the front and work my way back. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Let's get rolling on my new, beautiful Aqua Crescent Lite tackle. All right, like I said, we're going to start at the nose of the boat. If you look at the very end, the nose itself, of course, I have an Anchor Wizard chute with an anchor inside of it. And if you follow that line down, I have a line guide right here on the end of this gear track into the cranking mechanism itself. I am eventually going to add one more pad eye right here to kind of clean this up, pull it away a little bit. But I have the pad eyes. Unfortunately, I don't have the rivets to install them in the boat. But so that will have to wait for another day. But I mean, it's still functional right now. Just going to spin that dude, let it free fall. Then just crank it back. As you can see, works pretty awesome. working my way here. Of course, I got a roto grip. You can use it for a paddle park, a parking pole, or to hold your net in place. That way you don't lose it overboard. If we come a little closer, so a little closer view on the transducer mount and the fish finder mount and all that. This is a Mighty Mount switch. So I can go in both sides, and it's a little bit bigger profile versus just the Mighty Mount itself. Right here is a Yak Attack through hole kit. And it's about an inch hole, which I use this little gasket. And this is the power cord itself that goes through there to my hatch. But what I'm going to do is, when I get my rivets, this hatch right here is hollow, and it's pretty thick, maybe 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick. So what I'm going to do is, on the bottom half of this, I'm going to install a pad eye right there, and then I'm going to use some paracord and this carabiner right here. I'm going to basically just make a loop out of this paracord with that carabiner in the middle, and I'm going to hook the battery, let it kind of hang off this hatch right here out of the water. So if there's ever any water that seeps in there, the battery's just not going to be resting in a puddle. It's going to be suspended just below this hatch right here. So that's what that is. All right, working back from my seat to the back hatch. On the back of my seat right here, I have the Perception Sport cooler, and it attaches to the back of your seat. So with the sit on top, you have the extra space to install attachments like that. On the bag itself, it has all these loops and D-loops where you can install some extra accessories. I installed this old Wilderness bag I had on my previous kayak that has 4 pouches. This pouch, usually I have like a fish scale, got some fish grips, stuff like that. Just a way to keep you organized on the water. Right here on these 2 Mighty Mounts, I have some rod holders, the Omega versions, installed. Right here off this pad eye that came from the factory, it's just a bungee strap you can get at Harbor Freight or any hardware store. You can get like a pack of 7. So pretty cheap, inexpensive rod leash that you can purchase and don't have to tie anything up to a carabiner or anything. I have my low profile Yak Gadget kayak crate. It's a great addition, I love this. All right, we're gonna go on the opposite side. Okay, on the opposite side, I do have this Scotty mount attached to 2 Mighty Mounts with the track nuts. And this is where my camera boom goes inside of it. Shout out to H24 Outdoors for letting me have this beautiful kayak. Now, work my way over here. Of course, you've seen these already. That's my camera boom. Right here is my transducer. This is a Scotty arm that runs to my Humminbird transducer. And off of that, the only thing I really got to clean up is this wiring. So I don't really want to put any notches down in this hatch, so I want to keep it watertight as much as possible. So most likely what I'll do is just kind of put a pad eye right here with a carabiner and just kind of hold that tight right there in front of my foot. That way it keeps it clean. At the same time, it's out of the way and I don't have to drill any more holes. Now you can go a little overboard when it comes to kayaks and accessories. And I may be on the edge as we speak already, but I may add a couple things here and there, but for the most part, all my big purchases and big items are already on here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button for me, and I hope to see you on the next adventure.